A recent firmware update has added a basic automated feature for Dolly Zoom to the DJI Flip. Many viewers ask me if a similar functionality would be added to the Mini 4 Pro or other DJI models. In this video I will show you how to achieve the Dolly Zoom, also known as the Vertigo effect, in a much more enticing and flexible way with any drone. The Dolby Zoom feature added to the Flip is part of the automated smart snaps, which are available when flying autonomously. The target must be in the immediate proximity at arm's length, therefore it is only suitable for a basic selfie. It can also be used with a remote controller. In this case, a few settings can be applied, like shot size and zoom range. But in both cases, we have limited control over the target and the surroundings, and the resulting clip will be very short. We can obtain much better result using the method that I will show you further on. It can be done with any DJI model, including the Flip, Mini 4 Pro, Air 3S and Mavic 4 Pro. The Vertigo effect, also known as Dolly Zoom, consists of two opposing movements, one forward and the other in the opposite direction. The target remains still, while all other elements appear to be in motion. It is different from what we see in real life, thus surprising the viewer, a bit like when coming out of the pub after too many drinks. An interesting and well-defined target is crucial, as it will be the focal point of the action. It is preferable to have elements on several layers in the background and possibly a few others in the foreground. The distance from the target plays a big part in the intensity of the effect. The closer the aircraft to the target, the more evident it will be. The same applies to the speed of movement. Here you can see the same scene with aircraft flying at different speeds, 2, 5 and 7.5 meters per second. We can keep an eye on the current speed on the lower left part of the DJI Fly-Up window. The first option is way too slow and the effect fails to impress. I prefer the results obtained at 5 and 7.5 meters per second. At a higher speed, the resulting clip will be shorter, so we might want to increase the distance between the start and the end of the move. The main movement is performed by the drone advancing or moving away from the target. Both direction works fine, but it is easier to start close to the target, carefully frame the scene, and then move backward. For the opposing movement, we can apply digital zoom using the wheel of the remote controller. However, it is not easy to obtain a smooth motion to synchronize the zoom with the movement of the aircraft. A better alternative is to apply the zoom with a video editor while post-processing. There will be a slight loss of resolution if the footage is encoded in 4K, unless using the Mavic 4 Pro, as the main camera can record video at a resolution of 6K. Let me show how to apply a progressive zoom using Premiere Pro. The process is very similar to most other video editors. The clip starts with the aircraft close to the target. We go to the first frame and add 4 reference guides to frame the target. We can slightly zoom in or out and place the target in the middle of the frame. Then we click on the stopwatches on the left for position and zoom to set keyframes and store the values for that point. Then we move to the last point. We zoom in to reposition the monastery to fill the grid line, so that the target maintains the same dimension throughout the clip. We then add 2 more keyframes for the same values. This is the result. The monastery maintains the same size, while the background gives an impression of movement, disorienting the viewer. For an extra element of surprise, we can add some rotation. We go back to the first frame, add the positive value for a rotation of +4 degrees, and add the keyframe. Then we move to the end, enter a value of -5 degrees, and set another keyframe. The result is even more intriguing, with a touch of FPV feel. If you're using a Mavic 4 Pro, the rotation can be performed on camera, taking advantage of the infinity gimbal. The best results are obtained using Waypoint mode, which is now available on the Mini 4 Pro, Air 3S and Mavic 4 Pro. It is possible to create a mission made up by 2 points to automate and control the 2 opposite movements in camera. This is particularly interesting for users who don't have access to a video editor. We start by adding a grid line to keep track of the target's position. We select the one in the middle in the camera tab of the settings. We activate Waypoint mode by tapping on the icon on the left of the screen. We close the window by tapping on the small arrow on the left to get a better view of the scene. Move closer to the target and frame it for the beginning of the move. We then open the window and hit the plus sign to set the first point. Then we move backward to where we want the second and final point. Using the wheel of the remote controller, we zoom in until the target fits on the grid line in a similar position to the first point. We hit the plus sign again to set the second point. We can then select the speed of the move. I choose 7.5 meters per second and I like the results, but I find that the resulting clip is a bit too short. This time I try on a different scene, starting again close to the target, but this time I move backwards for more than 100 meters. I can slightly increase the speed of the move up to 9 meters per second. Another advantage of Waypoint is that each mission can be stored in memory, which is useful for performing the same Vertigo effect at other speeds or in different light conditions. Click on this link to watch my video about Waypoint mode, and don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video interesting. Thank you.